Tip the Wookiee bartenders 20% when you leave. No droids, no bounty hunters, no Raylos, no SJWs of any kind, no angry, gaslighted, misled fanboys, no black pills, none. We actually have conversations here that don't have anything to do with Star Wars being dead, which is, if, look, be very honest. If I had $1 for every time someone said Star Wars was dead, I'd be the biggest Disney investor around. All right. And I would, that's exactly what I would put my money into. Because then I could actually be the power behind the throne. Okay, anyway. What about Mando Season 3? Well, let's talk. I thought it was serviceable. It wasn't as good as like the first couple seasons, but considering all the hijinks and things going on behind the scenes and the shenanigans being pulled by that cunt Kathy. Hey, just some other guy. We had a very serviceable show and an ending with some closure. Okay, which is, we didn't get to see the Mythosaur, even though we did see him. We didn't get to see any. There weren't any cameos. No Luke. I thought Luke for sure would show up. No Boba Fett, and we were led to believe that. And there's a theory out there, though I don't know if I buy into it, that they basically edited the end to fit a more closed. I'm sorry, I swear, I don't give a shit. Okay, don't like it, whatever. Um, uh, there was closure to it, and there's a rumor now out there that Mando 4 is going to start filming in October. So anyway, there you go. This is my thing. I don't know if there was any different ending. I don't know. I know that it looked to everybody that the part where Grogu was with Luke, that was added. Why did you even bring that up? Just some other guy. Just go along with what we're talking about, okay? I don't know if the parts with Luke and Grogu were taken out of this season of Mandalorian. It looks like it was, because a lot of the stuff that we got was filler. Like, all right, we filmed something that actually would work. Now we got to go back and redo it. Okay, fine, whatever. I don't, whatever. But there wasn't anything woke about it. I like the father and son motif. I like the fact that we got to learn a little bit more about Mandalorian lore. We actually got to see a mythosaur, and it was fairly serviceable. Okay, I'm not. Look, with the troubles going on behind the scenes, from what we've heard, I don't expect this huge stuff until Kennedy is gone. Okay, so let's get into the main story. Well, I don't think so. I mean, if they had poached something from Ahsoka, we would definitely notice that. And also, Skeleton Crew, we definitely noticed that. So let's go to the layoffs. So Bloomberg yesterday posted a story that layoffs at Disney, the big batch, was going to start next week. And on Monday, in fact, people were going to get their notices on Monday. Hey, Mazeris. All right. Maze, if you see Nick from EBN in here, ban him. He blocked me, but he comes into my chat. So just, you know what to do. Just get him out of here. Anyway, and that goes for any other blue wrenches. If you guys see that guy, I want him gone. Okay, I really do. Disloyal, nasty, bottom-feeding little tools who do shitty things to people don't have any reason being on my channel. Anyway, let's go further. So we've got these layoffs coming. Okay, layoff, what layoffs? Mostly in entertainment, which means Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilm, maybe. Entertainment means the movie divisions, the studios will probably lose some people. Now, a while back in January, around January 13th or 12th, we did get a list of story group members that were supposed to be let go. Now, we're trying to figure out why Kennedy is still there. Does she have, yeah, we will, and that's another place to watch that. Does she have a secret file? Who's actually keeping her there? Look, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not. I've been attacked as being a conspiracy theorist by the Black Pill blobs, and so is Cameron. He thinks there is something bigger behind her. Look, I don't think anything's bigger than Wall Street, and there isn't. They're the ones that they rule the world. Wall Street rules the world, and everything that I've seen from what I've been reading in the financial things news is bad for Disney because their investors. Nelson Peltz is not left. He still has his $1 billion, okay, invested. Dan Loeb hasn't left. Tim Buckley in Vanguard is the biggest investor in Disney. They're leaving DEI. So Iger's playing a game of chess with her, which is, look, I'm a no-nonsense person. I don't believe in this constant whatever because she's burning everything. Look, when you see her up there talking about a Ray movie that, according to Sparrow, there's no desire for it. Not even the Raylos want it. Because Adam Driver doesn't want to come back to Star Wars. And the reason why he doesn't want to come back to Star Wars is because of the fucking Raylos. Okay? And I think that there's some issue about the fact that I think that he feels like his character didn't deserve any redemption. All right? He murdered his father, who's one of the biggest, one of the greatest film characters of all time. People love Han Solo. They don't love Ben, okay? And, when you hear the Raylos going, well, I'm not going back unless Adam's in it. Well, Adam's dead. His character fucking croaked. You saw him. We cheered. Okay, we laughed. We pointed our fingers and laughed at you fuckers, okay? Because he wanted to die. And I think you're right there, just some other guy, but let me, so there is no energy for a Ray movie. And she, again, look, when Sparrow said the SJWs, they were shocked. It's like you were shocked because no one wanted a Ray movie. You were shocked. This is your typical sequel trilogy homo at Lucasfilm, Ray, Raylo, and then reality, we don't want it. Customers don't want it. Disney's like, we're not paying for this shit. Okay. What do you mean? I'm not getting validated. I'm not getting la 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 la. I don't think he said as much, but I'm pretty sure that that was part for the course because, look, the guy was tortured throughout making this trilogy because the Raylos, even the nice ones, were shitty to him. Okay, they stalked him. They threatened his wife. They threatened his son. They threatened Daisy and her husband. Okay, they posted ludicrously perverted, obscene pictures and art. I did a video on it. I was like, they stalked him to his car at Comic-Con. Okay. They stalked his house. He had to keep the birth of his son a secret because of it. Okay. He's not coming back. Okay. That Raylo is dead. Thank God Almighty. Okay. And the problem I have with Raylo is that these women, these fat, old, middle-aged women, and these entitled little bitch Zoomers and millennials, we're very happy to see everything that we loved in the original trilogy destroyed for their trashy, perverted, 50 Shades of Mommy porn, garbage, fake romance, which was never supposed to happen anyway. Okay? And, look, you cannot write a good story if you let the fans dictate what they want. George never did that. And there you go. He didn't want a sad ending for people. That's not what Star Wars is supposed to be. Anakin gets his redemption. Luke revives the Jedi Order. Han and Leia live happily ever after. And, and with their kids, which is what George wanted. Okay? Well, if look, don't expect her to go, okay? But if we see names we recognize on the cutting room floor, that's exactly what he is doing, Parabellum, okay? You know, and I think the thing that pisses me off mostly about the sequel trilogy fans is they felt because it was quote unquote their time that they could curb stomp everything that Star Wars was about and put their woke bullshit into it. When that disgusting slob Pablo goes, well, things have just got to change. See how well that went, dumbass. Okay, see how well that went. Did it? And it's time for the sequel trilogy to just go away. And Kennedy is doing everything she can. This kabuki dance she put on at Celebration to save her legacy, which is, Iger gave her a way out. And she totally curb stomped it because she can't handle it. Again, I'm going to tell you something about people like well, I didn't do that, and just some other guy, and I really think that wasn't nearly as big as you think it is. That's a bit of misinformation, I think. Anyway, let me finish what I was saying. When you have like the Nashville shooter wanted to be validated, and she had been a student at that Christian school she shot up before she died, before the cop shot her. God bless him. She wanted to be validated. We are dealing with people that are so narcissistic and in all all honesty, Kathleen Kennedy is a huge narcissist. Okay, she's a terrible, terrible narcissist. She can't deal with the fact that she failed. Okay, now I know that people in her life told her, Kathy, it's over, let it go. I know she was told that, but in reality, she can't deal with it. And that's just what's happening. That's just the issue that we have to deal with her. Okay. And same goes for the other ones. And when you've got a combination of narcissism, a need for validation everywhere you go, and you're deluded and you have a sense of grandeur about you, that's a dangerous combination. Okay, that's a very dangerous combination. It's a psychopathic personality, a sociopath. Show me a politician, I'll show you a sociopath. All right, and that is true. Okay, that there you go. And it's very rare you find a politician that has been there for a while that is not. And I would say Senator Kennedy from, was it Alabama, is not. Kevin McCarthy is not. I would say Paul Ryan is. You know, but Mitch McConnell is. But a sociopathic personality can get through life without looking like a complete lunatic. If a narcissist doesn't get their addiction fed, if they stop getting accolades, if they stop getting attention, if they stop getting the glory of God is you, Kathy, or whatever, okay, they can be dangerous. And I think what's going on right now is she's got the if I can't have it, no one can have it attitude. And I really don't understand why Iger's playing the game. She's already done enough damage. She couldn't do any more. Okay. Now, I would say that her kabuki dance and her delusional announcements are enough to get her fired. I mean, but she should have been fired back in 2018. But again, if we go back and look at the rumors surrounding that, they couldn't find anybody to take her place. Okay. And remember, they did not announce it. They did not put out a press release. It was just quietly announced in the press. And her last contract signing, we didn't find out about it until, was it a year ago, October? Or no, a year ago, December, after she lost Children of Blood and Bone. Okay. The fact is, she never wanted to go quietly. Okay, and that's, I think, a problem. But again, I don't see her being harder to fire than Victoria Alonso. So what could be keeping her? Is there like a secret squirrel society behind her, telling Iger that he can't get rid of her? What is there a hidden hand? I don't know. Again, I understand that there are issues in Hollywood with child porn, Satanism. I know that for a fact. Sex party rings. I've actually got a friend who actually went to one just for kicks and giggles, and I'm like, gross. But I don't know. Is that it? And she runs to Leslie Headland. I mean, and here's the deal: the acolyte. All right, I've seen the complaint. I've seen the defense. At the end of the day, the last part of the defense is the defense feels that the wrong company's being sued. What? So that makes me wonder out loud what's going on. Because if you look at the Acolyte logo now, it went from looking like a Star Wars logo to an ABC or CBS special presentation from 1978, the Muppet Christmas special, okay, with John Denver or something like that. Yeah, it does, Mazers. So you're kind of looking at it going, if Lucasfilm is trying to say that they're not making it and there's no record in the archives in the computers of any scripts being added, is Kennedy going to take it with her? Now, I've been told that she's not, but it's one of those things where I'm looking at it going, look, Zack Snyder took Rebel Moon with him, removed all references to Star Wars, and it's going on at Netflix. Leslie Headland has a relationship with Netflix. Okay. Leslie Headland has absolutely nothing else coming. She's not working. She's got things that she's optioned and quote unquote developing, but that's meaningless. That's all meaningless. Hi, Kojak. And it's like, it is not, in my opinion, out of the realm of possibilities to see them pick up and leave, remove all references to Star Wars, and go on with this bizarre, femme-centric, generic science fiction thing, okay? Because Disney's not paying for it. All right, you look at the legal records, you've got Lucasfilm saying that McCarthy's lawyers are suing the wrong company. There's no record of the Acolyte in the Lucasfilm computers, and there is for Ahsoka season 2, and now Mando season 4. Okay, what's going on here? Where are they getting the money? Okay, this is a fully funded sizzle reel, but who's funding it? Kennedy herself? Is Frank Marshall indulging his wife's insanity? And here's another thing. Why doesn't Iger put the kibosh on it? And he should. He should announce saying Disney is not funding the Acolyte. We're not doing this show. And just announce it, and then that would be that. And he should say that we're not doing a Rey movie either, because there's no need or want for it. Okay? There is no need or want for it. When you've got feminazi rage porn, Raylos who moon over naked paintings of Adam Driver saying they don't want a Rey movie, you got a problem. I mean, look, the Raylos were never going to last. It was just never, ever going to last. I mean, you can't, the attention span of a millennial, a Zoomer, it's less than a goldfish, okay? And fat, dumpy, middle-aged women who have nothing else to do, no men's in their lives, will go and follow something else. All right, they'll go follow Pedro Pascal. They'll start moving over something. Look, I've seen it. Okay, I know what they do. I know what this is about. That was your Raylo base, and they're gone. Okay, there is no base for Raylo. Look, Valentine's Day, there wasn't even any Raylo stuff out there from Star Wars. Okay, none. All right, Raylo is a wholly invented thing by single, miserable teenage girls, college girls, woke millennial bitches, and lonely cat ladies. Okay, that's it. That's what, and they're gone. Okay. They got what they wanted. And then it died, and we all cheered and laughed and pointed at them. Their tears were like sugar and honey. It was great. Salty Raylo tears, all right? And it was over. It's gone, done. And they moved on. They were pissed off and they moved on. So, and just the arrogant way these bitches treated the actual fans, because they're not Star Wars fans. Raylos are not Star Wars fans, all right? Because the sequel trilogy isn't Star Wars. Okay, so there you go. But that's your base for a Ray movie, and it ain't gonna happen because they don't want it. Adam Driver, his character died, and I'm pretty sure he ain't gonna ever come back. Okay, he's making Megalopolis with Francis Ford Coppola, who for some reason is running around talking about what a great actor he is, and I'm going, overrated. Kind of look, Adam Driver is an even more gross version of skinny, weird-looking dude than Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo is what, 50 years old now? He has not grown into his looks. Let's put it that way. Ick. Anyway, but I don't know what Kennedy has on Iger, if she has anything. I would have dropped it. I would have dropped it a long time ago. All right. I just think that she's acting out, and he is quietly letting her hang herself. Because look, Kathleen Kennedy doesn't realize that Bob Iger isn't the one in charge of Disney. Dan Loeb, Tim Buckley, Nelson Peltz, George Lucas, and others are. Yeah, I did, but I can talk about it. I thought the ending was good. No cameos, but I have a theory on that. I think they're trying to hold off on the cameos because I think Luke showing up at the end of season 2 to save everybody was sent Kennedy into a rage. Look, there's very good intelligence out there that she hates Mark Hamill, hates him, and talked at length about how she feels about Harrison Ford, and I think she hates him too. But I enjoyed it. I thought watching. I jumped off the sofa and cheered when Gideon got fried. But look, he's probably not dead. Gideon has to run into the. I think there you go. There you go, just some other guy. If she had any dirt on Iger, she would get her stuff green. She would have had her stuff greenlit. Okay. There's something else going on here. Is there a hidden hand? I mean, what is it? I don't see what it could possibly be. I mean, you go all the way back to when George sold out to Disney. Everybody has a theory, and he looked sad. He looked uncomfortable. He looked sad, and I think it was because he realized this was a big mistake. And the story that Ichibaka dug up, and because Ichibaka was such a great researcher, better than me, by the way, he discovered that George had put in for permits to build more space up in Marin County, which is the county outside of San Francisco, where Skywalker Ranch is. And they said no. They said no to him, and he and Melody just had a new baby. And he just said, okay, fine, whatever. And for some reason, somehow, he was convinced by Kennedy to let her be in charge of Lucasfilm and to sell out to Disney. Which the guy that should have run Lucasfilm, what's shit. What was it? Randall. Shit. He was a producer, and he was like he was basically like the guy that did all the Young Indiana Jones stuff. Nothing could get past him. He was like, "Oh, you want to show this, George? I gotta look at it first." Okay. Damn. Just a second. Out of the way. I know, Coach Jack. I know. You're a good boy. Oruga. Okay. IMDb Pro. Well, Rick McCallum. Yeah, that's right. Okay, Jonathan. If Rick McCallum had been given the reins of Lucasfilm, we would not be going through this. Okay. He would not have disrespected George in the way that Kathy did. You're looking at a very vengeful, vindictive bitch, as far as I can see. Okay, and she wants that vindictiveness to be her sword and shield. All right, don't cross me. Well, he was there until Kennedy was named as George's successor, and then he left. He just said fuck this shit, and he went to Europe. Okay, and you can't really blame him because he would have been the right choice. Right, he would have been the right choice to head up Lucasfilm. He knew what Star Wars is about. He knew what Indiana Jones was about, and he wouldn't have let this dumpster fire happen. And a lot of the people that have caused so much trouble for Lucasfilm would have been gone. Okay, they would not have been allowed anywhere near the franchise. Okay, Rick. It looks to me like Rick thought George was probably going to let him take over, and then Kennedy swooped in. And I think the reason why is George felt compelled to let her do it. There's, he wanted to let her succeed him for some reason, and I don't know what the reason was. I can't hardly guess why. But it was very sad to see him go, but now in retrospect we know why. Okay, he probably felt jilted, and there you go. Okay, and it was sad. If he had been, well, yeah, I think Mays is right there that it was a good faith gesture, and because George knew Bob Iger fairly well, he thought they could probably get along together. But we could talk about Iger and Kathy. Look, first off, Bob Iger never mentions Kennedy at all in his Ride of a Lifetime autobiography. He mentions George. He's very apologetic to George. Okay, but he doesn't mention Kennedy, and Well, I don't think he did either. He trusted him, but again, the look on his face was, I think the little voice in your head, in your gut, is saying this is a stupid thing to do. Pull out right now. And he decided not to. I think that he had those treatments for a while. And I remember that for the longest time he said, we're not doing any more after Return of the Jedi and after Revenge of the Sith, right? And, you know, Iger told him, I don't, we can't buy your company unless you have movies you're developing. Okay. So George pulled out the story treatments and got Harry, Carrie, and Mark on board. And voila. Okay. There's your, there's your Disney sale. And, George himself said, I don't even know where he is anymore. I'll have to look him up. My IMDb Pro isn't working. Let's go here. Rick McCallum. American film producer. IMDb. Let's find him. Okay, so let's look here. Yep. Okay. So all right, I'll read the biography. As the producer of 3 Star Wars prequels, The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith, Rick McCallum has helped bring to screen some of the most successful independent films ever. Oh, you're right, just some other guy. The global blockbusters are highlights in a career that has seen McCallum produce remarkably eclectic and always groundbreaking film television projects, beginning with 1981 Depression-era musical Pennies from Heaven for director Herbert Ross and writer Dennis Potter. He produced The Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, The Radioland Murders, and Lucas actually was yeah, okay, there you go, Mazeros. So all right, he left for Prague in 2012. And he hasn't come back. He basically was, he worked with George. Look, I'm going to tell you something. And if you're a woman and you get pissed off at me, I really don't care. Guys are, by nature, more loyal to their companies and their units, clubs, as it were, than women are. Whenever you hear the word sisterhood, run in the other direction because it's bullshit. Because there isn't a bunch of women anywhere who talk about each other behind each other's backs. They backstab each other. They disappoint each other constantly. And that is just what it is. And I am very convinced that when George chose Kennedy, that Rick said, I showed you loyalty for almost 20 years, and this is what I get. I'm gone. Fuck you. I'm done. And that was it, because that's what guys do, okay? Women, if tomorrow David Zasloff offered Kennedy $100 million to come to work for him, she'd do it in a heartbeat. Okay. And to be allowed to be as woke and stupid as she possibly could be, she'd do it in a heartbeat. Look, the woman has no loyalty to anybody else but herself. And part of me wonders if her husband isn't behind this flagrant bullshit that she pulled at Star Wars Celebration. Okay, I want you to think about that. He was in New York. Doing his play, Oh Oscar, that he was producing. You know, somebody asked, I can't remember, maybe it was in Kamran's Patreon, what if there's something about Frank? It's like, look, if there was anything under the radar and hidden about Frank Marshall, it has absolutely nothing to do with Lucasfilm, okay? No, there isn't. But if you confront him face to face on Kathy, he'll go after you. I mean, he will block you on Twitter. And I've been really tempted to just demand that he take control of his wife and tell her let Lucasfilm go. Okay. He'll get really angry. And I know he knows that, but I just think he's Mr. Supportive. And, you know, look, if he really loved her, he would tell her, honey, I support you, but this is out of hand. All right. This isn't working. This is not working at all. You got to let it go. Okay. And I honestly think that if he did that, she would probably cry and then quit. You know, they might have an arrangement, but remember they did go to Europe for 40 days together last summer. Okay. That's a BFD. All right. That is a BFD. Okay. Was it their anniversary? Was it her birthday trip? She's going to be 70 in June. Okay. And it is very sad that we have to suffer through this. And, you know, what the hell was that? Okay. It's very sad on this that Frank doesn't really feel it necessary to step in. Now, he's up to his ears with Indiana Jones 5. Let me tell you something. When they did the wrap party for Indiana Jones 5, Kennedy didn't go with him as far as I could tell. No pictures of her there. I don't think she went to Britain at all with him. So again, she was an absentee landlord. You know, but I think that he's probably was actually the one doing all the work. Because I don't think she's capable of doing anything. She might have really great secretarial skills, but that doesn't make you management. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make you a leader. And a leader knows when to quit. A leader knows when to say, okay, I'm done. All right. I think what we're seeing right now is a woman, and we're going to hear about this, trust me. I mean, her freakouts will end up in a book. We're going to see a woman imploding in front of us. That's what we're seeing right now. And there you go. All right. And we just gotta hold on for, I think, a little bit longer. I do think we probably won't expect Kennedy to be fired the way that we think. It's going to come out of nowhere. But do I think she's going to actually keep her job? No, I don't think. And I don't think she's going to get her soft landing either. It's just going to happen. All right. And uh, I next week is going to be very interesting. Now, if the flying monkeys don't disappear from Lucasfilm, there are still plenty of opportunities to fire them. So do not lose hope. However, I do think we are going to see some names disappear. I actually, I'm going to make a prediction, even though I'm always wrong. Rain Roberts is gone. I think that she'll be gone. I think, and a couple other ones. I don't think, I don't, look, I think Pablo, look, my thing with Pablo is, I don't even know if he's still working there. Okay, he says he's a consultant. That means he's not working at Lucasfilm as far as I can tell. We don't know he was on the list. All right. My thing is don't wait around. Just fire all of them. If don't, the less support she has around her, Carrie Beck, Rain Roberts, the less likely she stays. Okay, the less likely she has people to back her up and that she can depend on. If they force her inner circle out, they lay them off, she's going to be sitting there twisting in the wind like a wind chime. Okay, and that'll be interesting. Okay, but we have to just see what happens. Next week is going to be really big. So my advice is find out where these people are on LinkedIn and see if they change if they change their status. All right. Now, I don't believe Matt Martin will say anything publicly. I don't believe Pablo will. But that will come out with him. Somebody will have a big mouth and say, "Hey, they fired Pablo." All right, and you know, it'll be interesting going forward. But look, we're in this is a very mysterious place we've found ourselves. Okay, and we have to remember that. We have to understand that. All right, we're not. Iger's playing his cards very carefully, but he has cards in his favor. The fact that even sequel trilogy fans don't want a Rey movie. All right. The fact that the Acolyte lawsuit, the first hearing is June or June, all right, June the 7th, I think, or July or July the 6th. Either way, it's one or the other. People put the date and the month instead of the month and the date. I get confused. All right, especially when they're single digits. All right, so I will. I'm watching that carefully. All right. So hey, you guys have a good afternoon and a good evening. Yeah, I did like the end of the Mandalorian. I don't think there's any way to talk Doomcock off of the ledge again. He reads too much into the surface stuff and not enough into the nuance. But I trust him more than I trust the flying monkeys. There we go. Anyway, this is Steph, and I trust him more than I trust the black pills and the black pill blobs. Their last change in narrative that the Rey movies, Iger's idea. What? All right, that's just me going, really? Anyway, I'll see you guys around the galaxy. Be safe.